Hey guys, chapter 1, bullet point 4, just having a real easygoing day today. So today was resting routine, a rising routine, and what else was it? Proofread chapter 1, bullet point 4. I didn't do it last night. Apply for some vacancies. Do read this and then read 25 pages of a book and then resting routine. Some days are like this. So, chapter 1, bullet point 4, persistent daily goals. Persistence is key. Ritual is key. A mixture of routines intertwined into one. I really want to start training Krav Maga on a regular basis. I did it for a number of months back in 2022, 2021 to 2022 one year. It's 2025 now. Life happened. I quit my job at the time, back then, because the management was too abusive for too little pay. A minimum pay rate job, and I was being nitpicked and yelled at for the slightest of mistakes. Whilst it was all good for them to make even bigger mistakes than me, and they faced no repercussions. Not until after I left, that is. I was then working as a casual yardsman at another company, and I saw the then former manager of the one I quit, driving a truck. He had been fired from his manager role at my previous employment and had been relegated to driving a truck for a delivery company. He did not want to look me in the eyes. I said hello, and he just went in to hand in the paperwork. Anyways, that's happened a number of times. One company shut down after I left. Well, they fired a whole bunch of workers, and I heard they shut down. But I checked it, yep, I checked as I wrote this. Um, May 2025 or something, and they were open again. Anyway, I want to get back into Krav Maga. It's almost the perfect martial art. It's an admixture of focusing upon mastery rather than a jack of all trades, as well as an admixture of 5 different martial arts. Mainly, I say mainly because there is no legal laws that say that you can't add in more, but the basics are boxing, karate, judo, wrestling, and aikido. So that's two standing striking arts in the form of boxing and karate. Now, here's the fine balance, because I believe in focusing on a few things and mastering them. Now, there are plenty of other standing striking martial arts, but I just like the idea of being a master of two of them, or good at them. They're good at them, black belt level. Sure, there's pros and cons to that, but I'd much rather be a master at two standing striking arts than be an average guy at 5 or 6. Then we have the two standing takedown arts, these being judo and aikido. Same story with the standing striking arts. I would much rather be a master at two different standing takedown arts than to be an average guy at 5 or 6. Now, going to the ground is never what you want to happen in a street fight, because street fights aren't fair. Most times bullies or opportunistic people in a bad position don't fight unarmed and alone. But nonetheless, it's interesting to learn about wrestling. It's only one ground art, but that's enough to know. The only downsides about Krav Maga is, to my knowledge, they don't have any competitions, or you can only do your grading once a year. Or is it every 3 months? Check that. Taekwondo, you can do your grading every 3 months, And in MMA, you can train for competitions, but there is no grading system. I need goals to achieve along the way to achieving my big goals, and I need something tangible that symbolizes the things I have attained and achieved, like a black belt, or a degree, or a pay rise. Anyway, life happened, and I wasn't able to continue with my Krav Maga training back in 2022. I had to leave that employment at the time, so I handed in my month's or 2 weeks' notice. I can't remember what it was. I also needed to find somewhere else to live. I moved to the Wellington region in May of 2021, so I wanted to find out what it was like to live in different parts of the Wellington region. So I tried Camborne out by Porirua, Maungaraki out by Petone, Whitby out by Porirua, Upper Hutt, and then I settled in Belmont, Lower Hutt, at the bottom of the hill, and I've been here for 3 years. 3 years as of, I think this was in May. Previous bullet point was written in May 2025. So anyway, at the time, I was given my 1 month's notice to leave the place I was living in Whitby. This happened the same week that I had handed in my notice to Carter's in Petone, and then on the same week my car engine blew up. But everything worked out for my betterment. Anyway, I am currently unemployed, but once I find employment, I want to go back to Krav Maga. I couldn't do it whilst I was working at Armor Guard because it was rotating shifts, so I didn't know if I would be able to make it from week to week. So hopefully with my new employment, my six-figure employment, hopefully it won't have rotating shifts. Otherwise, it'll I'll just have to find a martial arts club where it's open 24 hours. I don't know of any here in the Wellington region other than a jiu-jitsu club in Lower Hutt. But jiu-jitsu is useless when it comes to protection. Obviously, the two best forms of protection are relationships. Good, healthy relationships with those around you and with society, or at the very least, people within society. If things unfortunately and tragically come to blows, well, it's going. But it is always great to be striving after big goals, striving after your best self. That's what it's all about. None of this other stuff. Oh, relationships, yeah, we've got the forms on. The joy is in the journey, not the destination. That is the purpose of having persistent daily goals. Once I have my six-figure employment, where they hopefully don't put me on rotating shifts, I'm going to go to Krav Maga twice a week, as well as gym 4 times a week. Nuts. Twice a week, a 20-minute run in my weights and start-up routine, as well as a 20-minute run in my push-up and start-up routine. I will also go through what I learned at Krav Maga that week every day I go to the gym. These things build confidence, and that's why you need persistent daily goals. Alright, I just reread that chapter after writing the third chapter. I wrote that down at the end. The yeah, and that workout routine is crazy. My new routine is one that ChatGPT put together for me, based upon my Krav Maga and basketball goals. That's all I got written. Yeah, that was crazy. I think I'm still paying for it because some days, like, I'll go for a 2 hour walk or something and have a little shooting a basketball, or, at this point in time, I don't think I'll be able to maintain that thing. But I used to push myself to weekly burnouts, but I just have a day where I thought I was just recovering. But yeah, having a day of recovering, doing absolutely nothing every week, and you don't want to speak to anyone, you want to be left by yourself for a whole entire day is what you call just a burnout. So yeah, I mean, once I'm financially very successful, I don't think I need to do that. Just sitting strong enough to keep healthy and well. and have good relationships. See you.